One of my favorite stories is I was on a ministry trip one time, and there was a man that was in a wheelchair, and he was on my team. And he was in a car accident as a young man, and he's paraplegic from the waist down. And so we were on the Oregon coast, and he's rolling his wheelchair, and we go up to a person, and we're evangelizing, sharing Jesus. And so we find a guy with a broken wrist, and so the gentleman in the wheelchair asks, his name's Leland. Okay, he's my friend that's in the wheelchair. So he asked this young man if we can pray for him. And the young man's like, bro, you're in a wheelchair. What's your problem? He says, well, I was in a car accident. I can't use my legs. And he goes, you need healing more than I do. He says, my wrist is going to be, fine in a few months. And Leland says this, he says, and I'll never forget it. He says, I believe my healing is still on the way. I'm still, contending and believing for my healing. But he says, I believe your healing is for today. He's like, man, let me pray for you. So the young guy puts his arm out like this. Leland puts his hands around his cast or his brace, starts praying for him. Again, releasing the life flow of Christ that's inside of him into the situation. The guy says, wow, whatever you're doing, it's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. So the guy takes off his brace and he starts doing push-ups on the ground. He says that's something he couldn't do before, completely healed, okay?
Wow.
And it was such a glorious example of how this flesh, and this is a vessel, like this is just flesh, right? But God says it's the treasure that's in the earthen vessels.